Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you like making money in the most undervalued assets in the world, this is the channel for you. Click subscribe, give me the thumbs up, do all that cool stuff. Leave comments, tell me how I'm doing. Put down there what you guys want to know. Maybe there's some videos I can put out. So I was scrolling through the comment section. You guys are really educated, like very good comments. Very good. You guys are asking all the right questions. Um, Andy, you're new to the channel. Can you do a portfolio update, please? I'm a big fan of silver, and to a lesser extent, uranium. Copper is a big, as lithium. So I'll go through the hypothetical portfolio for everybody to show you what I would do, the companies I would be buying, and cost averaging in. This stuff is all extremely cheap. So just to step back, I know we've got a lot of new subscribers. What we're doing is we're using ratios to identify value. That is, we're pricing an asset against another asset and comparing it to history. When that asset is cheap in relationship to the other assets, we pile into those assets and we wait for them. We wait for the rotation of the money to come around back to that asset, and that asset will get repriced. Right now, the market conditions with real estate going higher is going to spur an expansion phase, which means new homes are going to be built and we're going to have new loans against new homes, which is inflationary. So that inflation and the ramifications of that inflation, which will increase interest rates at some point, will cause a rotation of money out of technology, out of some of these other stock-based stuff into commodities. We're going to be sitting in the commodities, twiddling our thumb and hitting the refresh button on our accounts as they go up in general. We're in a slight pullback right now, which could get reversed very quickly. We don't know exactly where the bottom is, but I do think it's going to pull back for a little bit, maybe the next couple of weeks, could even be a month on some of it, not all of it, but on some of it. And this is where we kind of just slowly cost average in. So let's go over to the hypothetical portfolio. I'm going to go right there. This is the Finding Value portfolio. I'm just going to do a quick run over of some of the things that I did and some of the companies that I think that are very good, and maybe the sector they're in and why they're good. So we've got, this is Crew Energy. This is a company up in Canada. It's a mainly natural gas company. They've got a large amount of land. Potential drilling locations are a lot. They're very small in size. I picked that up in the portfolio. I picked Antero Resources, another natural gas company, and SWN, which is another natural gas company, both in America. The natural gas companies are of great value. AR and SWN, AR just broke a very large chart pattern. It's probably going to go up quite a bit. SWN it's right there, ready to break. So that's another one from a technical perspective and a fundamental perspective is very good. CCJ is another uranium company, Camco, up in Canada. They're right there. They broke a gigantic, large chart pattern. Looking great. Laramide recently had this big sell-off, and I was like, I got to get it in the portfolio. It's a uranium company in America. SDCL, this one looks like it may pull back. It's got a bearish engulfing pattern. It's Southern Copper. They have copper, and I think it's in Mexico and Peru. It's a very big diversified miner. So I'd wait on that. South 32, I'd wait on that. It's another diversified mining company. TGB is a copper company. It's right there trying to break this gigantic pattern. So I'm going to cost average in slowly on that to get some shares and hold it in the portfolio, because if that thing breaks, it's going up way higher. This is a many back in the 90s chart pattern. Bannerman Monroe, the CEO, the dude's a stud. I think he can pull it off. They've got all their stuff ready for uranium here. They have the project basically ready to turn on, and then it takes 3 years to turn on into production, roughly. So I think that's a great one to have. They're extremely cheap for how many pounds they have in the ground, probably one of the best values out there. SILV, Silvercrest, that's a silver company. I'm loading up on silver. I've been loading up on silver. I'm a huge silver bull. And if this Wall Street bets gets some traction, they could push this a lot higher. You have to play the physical game. That's what you want to do. And it looks like SILV, I don't know if that's one that they're really focusing on, but I know they focused on a couple. We have them in our portfolio, and I'll go over those, which ones I think they're going to be pushing. Rio and BHP diversified miners, I'd hold on with those. Let them kind of come back, bottom out, and then we'll add some more. TMQ, Trilogy Metals, that broke this very large reverse head and shoulders pattern. We broke another short-term pattern. I think it's just a matter of time before this thing rockets to the upside. I own some in TMQ. I own some in my personal portfolio, and I also own a couple of options on it. TTI, this was one that I bought at 50 cents, now $1.43. I think they have a good company, Tetra Technologies. I think it's an energy service company. I think their services are going to be needed in very much greater quantities in the future. I think we're going to have an oil spike or oil boom very soon, probably within at least 2 years, but probably from now to about 2 years, you could see a big oil spike when the demand comes back. I mean, it could be substantial. FANG is another, it's Diamondback Energy. They bought out our QEP shares. I'm just holding on to them. SM Energy is another one. I like SM Energy quite a bit. It looks very good, even from a charting perspective right now. All these oil companies are going to kill it over the next 5-10 years, however long this bull market lasts for commodities. Blue Sky Uranium, that's a good one to get into. Very nice chart pattern. They're down in South America. Looking for uranium, exploration company. Baseload's extremely cheap right now. I would be cost averaging in. I cost averaged in on this portfolio here. This is Pure Point Uranium. They're getting hit kind of good. That might be one to slowly leak some money into. They're very cheap. It's only 5 cents, but they're an exploration company up in Canada. So they've got a pretty good management team. Norilsk Nickel, that's been pulling back. I'd wait for the bottom to add. Mosaic. Mosaic's about to break a very large chart pattern. It may hang around until we get that break. So Mosaic's another one. It's a fertilizer company in the Midwest. That might be a good one to look into when the thing bottoms and then turns around and comes up. Reconnaissance Africa Energy, that's one where they're exploring. They're trying to go in a basin and find massive amounts of oil. I think it's a pretty good bet. They've got a team that's already done this before, and they're going what I would think is some of the last areas where they could find substantial amounts of oil. Encore Energy, that's Bill Sheriff. It's an American uranium company, great solid company. The chart looks pretty good. I've been in on this portfolio and in my real portfolio. Ely Gold, that's a royalty company. Bill Sheriff's on the board of that. Solid company. I think it's really good for this next bull market coming up. Centennial Development, an oil company based in Denver. That's another good company. I think it's got explosive power when this thing moves to the upside. It broke a very large downtrend. It's got a long way to go up. It's got a cup and handle pattern, looking great. So CDEV is a good one to look into. Standard Uranium and Sky Harbor are both Canadian uranium exploration companies. Good management teams, so you just add a little bit and hold on. They're going to be very volatile. You can see in the portfolio I'm already down 20% in them. Hecla Mining, breaking a 40-year chart pattern in silver. Buy it, hold on to it. It'll break. Just give it time. McEwen Mining, nobody likes McEwen Mining. I actually put options on it. They restricted how much you can buy in Robinhood. It makes it even more desirable to push this thing to the upside. So I don't know why they would do that, but McEwen Mining, I think it's fine. There's nothing bad there. You just apparently can't buy much of it in Robinhood. MCF, this is Contango Oil and Gas. John Goff, a billionaire, owns a 30% stake in it. Pretty rare for a company that size. I think it's good to go. You just kind of cost average in. It's pulled back a little bit. I think we're doing a back test on its large chart, multi-year chart breakout. Good to enter. I would be adding now. Very slow, leaking some money. Cost average in. Teuton Resources, the Golden Triangle, they own a lot of the properties up there. That's the one that you'd want to own to have a revenue or income stream on all of the properties. So they're finding a lot of gold up there. Some of it's going to be a little tough to get out, but some of it's going to be a little bit easier. I think Tudor Gold's got probably, Tudor and one of the other ones has probably the easiest time of extraction. But it is lower grade, but I think the way to play it is through the royalty, Teuton Resources. This one is Fortuna Silver Mines. That's another silver company. If you like it, get some. It's a pretty good company. These are all producers. Same with MMNGF. That's a explorer of silver. So I own a little bit of that. First Majestic. That's a producer of silver. These are all silver guys, and Endeavor Silver. Discovery Metals is an explorer. So the producers are EXK, AG, FSM. The exploration is MMNGF and Discovery Metals. We've got Goviax. That's an African company that is a developer of uranium. That's a great one. They're exploring and developing. So I like Goviax a lot. Tellurian, that was one of the channel's videos. Same with Grand Tierra Energy. We got in these guys. They've gone up quite substantially. Get them, hold on to them, don't do anything. They're both strategic bets. Grand Tierra is an oil, Tell's a natural gas terminal that they're going to be building to export LNG. The LNG market's blowing up. It's going to continue to blow up. The deficits just go way big going forward. So I think that's a very good company to be holding on. EMX is a precious metals, base metal royalty company that broke out of its large chart pattern to the upside. I think that's a good spot to be hiding out in. So all of these companies I own every single one of these in my personal portfolio, all of them. I own more than this, a lot more than this as well. So I'm spread out. I wouldn't say I'm spread thin, but I've got a couple grand at least in all of them, or substantially more. I might have put up to 10 grand in each. So some of them have gotten quite large in their size since I originally purchased them. So I try to spread them out. I try to get a very good capture of all of the potential returns and value that these sectors can offer. I'm almost in every single company that I think you can think of in uranium. So I'm spread very well in uranium. So I would say I'm about I have equal amounts of money going to all of these sectors. So I've got the base metals, the diversified miners, and I've got Nova Royalty. That's a very good royalty company. I got EMX Royalty. I've got the gold, precious metals royalties, Ely Gold, Teuton Resources, Wheaton Precious Metals. I've got a little bit of sand. We've got the base metals. So I've got some base metal producers, Southern Copper and the diversified miners. I've got natural gas and lots of oil. Those have performed, I think, the best in my portfolio. SM Energy's just absolutely crushed it. Reconnaissance Energy's crushed it. Contango was up over 100%. I think it pulled back a little bit, but I'd be adding to that position. So I think this is a pretty good portfolio for a commodities type portfolio. And I think we've captured all of the great companies, and they all exhibit exceptional chart patterns. So when you have this confluence or this merging of information, this is when you want to invest, and then you just hold on. This is a 5 to 10 year hold. You don't want to be trading in and out. Just let it ride and slowly cost average in these shares. If you guys like this content, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you in our community. Leave comments below on what you like or dislike or what you want to see video-wise, and give me a thumbs up if you like this content. Appreciate you listening. This is Finding Value.